Ah, why are some people so obsessed with black people? It's a question that's been asked for generations, and it's one that continues to baffle and frustrate. It seems illogical that someone could claim to dislike an entire group of people yet spend an inordinate amount of time fixated on them. But that's the reality of racism. It's not about logic or reason. It's about power, control, and a need to feel superior. And these same people talk trash on the internet, but will never say this to a black person's face in real life. This obsession manifests itself in various ways. It could be as blatant as constantly making racist remarks, or as subtle as constantly scrutinizing the actions of black people while giving a free pass to others. It could be about clutching your purse a little tighter when a black person walks by or crossing the street to avoid them. These actions, whether conscious or unconscious, all stem from the same place, an unhealthy obsession with black people. But here's the thing. This obsession is rooted in fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the other, and fear of losing power and privilege. It's this fear that drives racists to obsess over black people, to scrutinize their every move, and to invent and spread harmful stereotypes. There's a glaring contradiction at the heart of racism. The idea that you can hate someone and simultaneously be obsessed with them. Racists often claim to want nothing to do with black people, yet they seem unable to stop talking about them, thinking about them, and monitoring their every move. They complain about black culture, black music, black athletes, black politicians. Everything and anything related to blackness seems to consume their thoughts. This contradiction exposes the absurdity of racism. It highlights the irrationality of judging individuals based on the color of their skin or their cultural background. How can you claim to dislike an entire group of people while simultaneously being deeply invested in their lives and actions? This contradiction also underscores the fact that racism is not about genuine dislike, but about maintaining a system of power and privilege. It's about upholding a hierarchy where one group is positioned as superior to another. This obsession with black people is, therefore, not about hatred, but about control. One of the ways this obsession manifests is through the constant peddling of false statistics and harmful stereotypes. A common example is the myth that 13% of the population commits 50% of the crime, a statistic often used to paint black people as inherently criminal. This statistic, however, is blatantly false and has been debunked time and again. The FBI's own data shows that crime rates are not directly correlated with race, and that black people are not the majority of committing these heinous crimes. Socioeconomic factors such as poverty, lack of access to education, and living in high-crime neighborhoods play a far greater role in crime rates than race. And the only statistic that's very high for us is the murder statistics on the FBI's crime data table. Yet these nuances are ignored by those seeking to perpetuate harmful stereotypes. The truth is that crime statistics are complex and cannot be reduced to simplistic race-based explanations. Focusing solely on race ignores the systemic inequalities that contribute to crime in all communities. It's a lazy and dangerous way to view the world, one that reinforces existing biases and justifies discrimination. Perhaps the greatest irony of all is that many of the same people who spread misinformation about black communities are also the ones who claim to be the most afraid of them. They consume a steady diet of fear-mongering news and social media posts, convincing themselves that black people are a threat to their safety and way of life. This irony exposes the circular logic of racism. It's a self-perpetuating cycle of fear, misinformation, and obsession. It's time to break free from this cycle. Instead of obsessing over black people, let's focus on understanding the root causes of societal issues. Let's challenge our own biases and confront racism in all its forms. And most importantly, let's replace fear with empathy, ignorance with knowledge, and prejudice with understanding. Or I have a better idea. How about a lot of you? Other races of people start minding your own business and stop trying to blame black people for every little thing. Only then can we hope to create a more just and equitable society for all.